you have your It's Safe cybersecurity product. Can you give us you could share your screen if you wish, but can you just give us a slight demonstration or an overview of your system and how it works? Because I think what you have is a very important tool that basically people can have access to in the near future if they wish, or there are many companies out there that may be vulnerable to cybersecurity threats, which you can help them prevent.
Correct. I was trying to look at only Denmark. Like, I didn't invite Denmark into my system, did you?
Absolutely not.
So this is the dashboard for our security appliance. And these top four panels are pretty effective at telling you what's going on in the environment. For instance, these alert signatures, we can see that there's 1.2 million possible exploits with semantic cab parsing, malicious outcast of out-of-bound reads. There's DNS queries to .cc. What is a .cc domain? Do you use that?
No.
Some people would think it's credit card. It could be. Nobody in this office is using the .cc domain. This is internal attacks going on in this environment that aren't able to be determined because nobody's driving those applications. Here's one to IP info. What's my IP address and where am I in the world? That's never said by an authorized user. That's usually used by an attacker who doesn't know where they are and what systems have been lucky enough to gain the malware that they're distributing in the environment. There's much, much more that can go on in this discussion here, but I'll keep it brief for us in this conversation. If I look at the categories, that 1.2 million connections is a Trojan.
Wow.
That you'd never see. Look, our networks are so fast anymore that activities that we don't ask for are virtually invisible and they don't affect the downloading of our videos, our Facebook experience, or anything else that we're trying to promote on social media. There's miscellaneous attacks, attempted privilege gain, trying to define what is the external IP address, and why would they do that? Because if they know what the external IP address is, they might be able to exploit the connection that's outside, go through the firewall, and get into the environment once again. But these applications are already inside. And what they're doing is probing the environment for one thing. These HTTP methods are what your browser, your web browser, uses to talk to a web server to find information. Get means give me what you got. Post means I've modified a field and I want to submit it, like, for instance, a deposit in your bank account. You're going to update information and press send. That's a post connection. The dot head is tell me what this device can do on its web server. That's not normally done by somebody that's using the environment. It's usually done by somebody that's testing. And connect. The connection's automatic unless you're trying to hack into it. These next sequence of methods that are here in an encoded fashion are all meant to be used and understood by the web server and either exploit configuration that was on it or have it reboot or turn itself off, which is the denial of service attack. Lots of activities here. And here we also take a look at what activities going on during the day. There are some periods of downtime, but they're not significant. They're not like a full 8 hours or anything like that we're seeing on these charts. Most of what I'm seeing right now are Windows updates and Microsoft connections. And that's only because the top 10 host names, these were sent out the most. So it's invisible, like we're being masked about where are they going in the world until we look at the connections and the countries that they're requesting access to. This right here is our keyword map for the countries that are talking to this environment. This is a local dentist office, and they have clients from, let's say, up to an hour away from their office. There's certainly not people coming in from Turkey, Russia, Hong Kong, China, Peru, South Africa, Thailand, Mexico, Malaysia, if you get my point.
Quite
These are
interesting.
all connections that are being exploited by the software that was downloaded by connecting to websites. And they're all trying to recover with proxies going to different countries to get new updates to the malware that's on that computer. But if you block the activities, they have no connection. And that's what we do, not
And
just by countries, but by other activities that we see in the environment.
now, so you have a product that is both a software and a hardware, or is it just a software alone?
Right now, it's sitting on hardware.
Okay.
We're raising money from investors to take it to the next level, which will probably enable us to go to a cloud based version, only because we don't have access to where the cloud is to put a piece of hardware, but we can put what we're using into a cloud container and run that as we would our security appliance. So right now we're protecting on-prem, and anything that goes from on-prem to in the cloud can run through us, as well as the Wi-Fi connections to personal devices. We can filter those and determine whether or not they've been breached as well.